as his wife Tiffany quickly makes her way to the ring to celebrate.
We'll be back.
Welcome home, young man. He just never stopped. And when he had him in trouble, he jumped on him. So Baysangurov suffers the...
Let's pause right there. They're probably going to go to commercial break. This is from last night. I couldn't cover it last night, so I'm covering it now. Right now, it's 2:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. February the 16th, 2019. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Rob Brant has made his first defense of his WBA regular world or underling 160-pound title last night on ESPN, Top Rank on ESPN. Hold on, I need some H2O. Here, let me pause the video and I'll be right back. Let me pause and stop right here and do some real-time editing, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back. I forgot what I was saying. 25-1 with 17 KOs. Here, let me let this play in the background. That way we can listen to the post-fight interview, and I don't have to be jumping all around, fast forward and rewinding and all that stuff.
What's going on with his knee or legs? He was buzzed by that right hand.
Wait, what's going on with his legs?
As you see Baysangurov lean into his
right.
Look,
yeah, his legs. Look at his legs.
Lined himself up for the right hand from Rob Brant. And you saw the response. Baysangurov was trying to figure out what was going on with his knee or legs. He was buzzed by that right hand.
And I like the way Brant responded. He recognized right away that Baysangurov was hurt.
You can see these. Oh shit!
And he closed the show.
You can see these highlights on the full highlights on the Top Rank on ESPN Twitter page.
Came by way of another charging right hand, and then Mark Nelson said, "I've seen enough." Watch the head snap back. You saw that wiggle
but
to the neck.
You know he's gotten so much better. Like I covered him.
We get on referees a lot for having slow.
I covered him. Oh wait, I got to mute it.
Stoppages. This was a.
I covered Rob Brant when he lost to Jürgen Brähmer in the World Boxing Super Series tournament, 168 pounds. It was the only loss of his. It is the only loss of his career. Turns out 168 pounds is not for him yet, but he's been thriving with that high punch rate at 160 pounds. Remember, after Jürgen Brähmer, he went on to fight a 12-11 guy by the name of Kobe Kurter, right here, and then went on for the title shot against Murata, and he was the heavy underdog. We covered that fight here on the channel, by the way. But now, I mean, he's in the mix. You know, he's in the mix in regards to having that WBA world title. But how far will it get him? All right, I want to see him kissing his wife. All right, that's cool. Shit. Fucking go watch a rom-com. Looking at the 160-pound division, obviously, Canelo Alvarez sitting on top. You know, even though there's many that feel that it should be Golovkin, but whatever. We're still waiting on a decision of Golovkin. We don't know where he's going to sign yet. It's looking like it's going to be the Zone. Max Kellerman on his show, is either him or was it this broadcast? You know, Max Kellerman has a show called Max on Boxing, comes on Fridays. Next week he's going to have Anthony Joshua. But on one of these shows, it was either on this broadcast or that show where pretty much it seemed like, you know, ESPN kind of knew they're not getting Golovkin. And what would they have to offer him outside of Rob Brant, you know, and that Murata money over there? You know, maybe he can still get that. What the hell? They eating chunky milk. Oh, that's a commercial. I was like, what the fuck is that? They're saying that he will be the mandatory for Canelo Alvarez in regards to the WBA. And then you got to remember Golovkin taking on Canelo taking on Danny Jacobs in May. Demetrius Andrade, he's heavily, you know, linked to possibly fighting Billy Joe Saunders. They were ordered to fight. They could fight still, but what if Golovkin comes and he signs with the Zone? Who would he fight in his first fight with the Zone? And would they consider, you know, the Andrade fight, you know, too soon to make for Golovkin's first fight signing with the Zone. You know? But if he was to go over to Showtime, they're offering him Charlo.
As he dismisses Baysangurov in 5
But right now,
fashion.
Canelo is where the money is.
Sports
But
Center
Golovkin's
is
number
coming
2.
up next with Neil and Stan. They're going to have everything
We're going to
need
listen to his
know
post-fight
about
interview.
Tigers Day at Riviera. Plus, last year's dunk champ Donovan Mitchell talks about his unique form of motivation and more from what happened here in Minnesota with this WBA Middleweight Championship. Up to Bernardo.
Shout out to ESPN, man. I mean, in Top Rank, it's hard to keep up with these cards. There's so many of them.
You heard the words, and knew. Tonight, in front of your hometown fans, you hear the words, and still. How does it feel?
You know, I always feel like you're not really a true champion until you defend your title. So today I really feel like a true champion. I beat a very tough competitor. I thought he was very good. I've always wanted to take someone's O before. You know, I'm sorry that it had to go that way, but not that sorry. You know, I have to continue my win streak. So I was very happy with the performance. I wasn't feeling the best. I was getting cramps in my legs and things like that. But a couple things I definitely need to tighten up, but overall I'm very happy with my performance. There's the latest stoppage that I've had. I think the latest stoppage I had before this was in the 4th round. No, it was in the 11th, I believe. So, you know, it just shows I can carry power later and later. So I'm very happy with the performance and looking forward to what's next.
Second round, you were able to drop him, and then in that 11th round, once again, you went down, he got up, and you finished the show. You knew that you had to put on a great performance tonight for the other champions to take you seriously. How do you feel about the competition at 160 for you?
I mean, I think it's one of the thickest, you know, divisions in the sport of boxing right now between, you know, the heavyweight, welterweight, and middleweight. Those are the 3 that are always going to be competing with the most talent. I think that there's definitely more middleweights. You know, it's a steep bracket of solid middleweights. So I think we're one of the best weight classes in the sport right now. So there's definitely great fights to be made. Just got to continue to push forward. You know, now I get kind of debriefed in the locker room. I ask not to hear anything about any type of fights, potential fights, until after each one. So I'll go into the back room and get debriefed a little bit and see what's happening next.
Why don't we do that?
They were talking about him versus Jeff Horn.
You said before this fight, I'm a champion, but I'm not the champion.
Absolutely.
Who do you have to beat to be the man at 160?
I think the generally recognized champion is going to be the winner between Alvarez and Jacobs. And of course, that's always what you're going to be gunning for, is to be the champion. But after you know, if say you win those belts, there's also other champions out there as well, you know, and Andrade. So, you know, it's a very, like I said, deep talent pool, a lot of lofty competition at 160. So, but overall, you know, in order to be the champion, I feel that Canelo Alvarez is the champion at 160, and that's of course always what you're going to work toward.
Thank you very much, Rob. Joe, we send it back to you.
Well, he is the main.
Very well spoken, man. But the thing is, with his belt, unfortunately, his belt, he understands that he can't unify with that belt. So to fight Andrade, he would have to drop that belt. And basically, there's going to be a 3-belt champion after Canelo versus Jacobs, the 3 belts that Golovkin, many feel he should still have. In regards to Rob Brant, you know, they're not going to stop the Andrade, you know, fight, or whoever has that WBO. So right now, you know, as long as he keeps winning, he's kind of the odd man out. And his belt, you can't unify with, you dig me? The WBA can order him, you know, to fight Canelo, the one of Canelo versus Jacobs. But then they can say, well, a unification, let's go after Andrade, you know, or the winner of Andrade or whoever he fights. So it's going to be interesting to see the next several months for him in regards to who he can fight and who he will fight, you know, because it is true that the 160-pound division is deep, but it's kind of top-heavy with a lot of, you know, big-name politics. For example, you got Sergey Derevyanchenko out there, but from my understanding, isn't he fighting Jack Couquet to be the mandatory for the IBF again? Matvey Korobov, but he's over on that PBC Showtime, you know, side. So I can imagine they got some real big plans for him off of his performance against Jamal Charlo. Solusky fighting Gabriel Rosado, but that's, you know, once again, 2 basically the zone fighters. We'll see. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.